Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon.
Still hot,
Yes.
but we're going to carry on with season 18 as we've got the big box set of the
Well,
E-Space Trilogy.
Big-ish.
Well, there's 3 things in it. But before we open the first one,
Yes.
I have to follow up this stuff about Nanny Stick from
Okay.
last time, which
Yes.
seemed to go down well in certain quarters.
Yes. Yes.
So, Nanny Stick.
Yes.
You said something about a bowl of water
Yes.
and silver and copper
Yes.
and margarine. So what's
Yes.
all these things?
Not on the video.
No.
This was in comments to people.
Yeah.
Right. The bowl of water related to, as I said to you, they had. Because what I should have said as well is that at the time I was talking about Wednesday's Decay, when Leisure Have Meglos would have been airing, my granddad would have still been alive.
Yeah.
He died.
He's the one with the glass eye.
He had a glass eye, yes.
And he used to take it out.
We used to say, "Can you glass eye out, Grandad?" And then he would, and we'd all scream and run away.
Okay.
Because kids are a pain in the arse sometimes. But yeah, I think after he died, she decided that she'd have. Now I can't remember if it was a gas or electric fire. I have a feeling it was a gas fire, but it might have been electric. So it was a not. They got rid of the open fire.
Right.
But she had a bowl of water on the bottom of the hearth in front of it, which, because to put moisture in the air. Now, why you wouldn't need to put moisture in the air just because you had a gas fire or an electric fire, I don't know.
It suck all the water out of the
Yeah,
air. You were
so-
all desiccated, were you?
Yeah. So yeah, she had this bowl of water,
Right.
and Russell, hello Russell, he reminded me, my nephew, that on her sideboard she had bowls with like silver and copper coins, like 2p's and pennies, and
Right.
5p's and 10p's and 20p's when they came out, and she'd dip into them if she needed change or anything, and she'd also give you 10 shillings.
50p.
50p, yeah.
It sounds better if you say 10
It does
shillings.
say better if you say 10 shillings, but you'd be like, Nan, it's 50p, and she'd be like, yeah, that's what I said, 10 shillings.
Didn't do metric.
No.
then?
No.
Okay.
So.
And what was the thing about margarine?
Oh, yeah, they used to go down to the chip shop and get chips,
Yeah.
and she'd do bread and margarine, and I seem to remember it was fairly cheap margarine as well. So
Not quite lard,
not
but
quite large, like probably like stalk, when stalk, you could get stalk.
in silver paper.
Yeah, and not like, because stalk now, people only use it for baking,
Yeah.
but then you because Leslie Crowther did a whole big advertising campaign, didn't he, about stalk?
I've no idea.
Yeah, so, and it was fairly horrible.
Oh, right, okay, well, I'm sure we'll return to Nanny Stick
I'm
as
sure
we go
we
on,
will.
but there you
Yes.
go. Full circle. Any thoughts on Full Circle?
No, I like the idea of the story, because the point of the deciders of, or the people that live in the Starliner are the Marshmen,
Yeah.
is a nice twist. And that thing of, tell Dexter we've come
We've
full
come full circle.
But I don't like what happens to the Marsh child in part 3.
All right.
And that's just purely because, and I know it's important to the plot,
Yeah.
but that's purely because the older I get, the more sentimental I get, and I don't
The
like things
aminals.
happening to animals or children.
Yeah.
And the Marsh child is sort of a animal. Really.
I mean, this whole e-space thing, I like the idea. But in retrospect, it's very much a coincidence, because they say about the image translator reads the absolute coordinates, right? Because e-space has got negative coordinates, and that's fine. But the idea that in a sort of bubble universe, you'd have a planet which had exactly the same coordinates as Gallifrey, but negative,
Yeah.
is a bit of a coincidence.
Yes.
Because, Gallifrey is like 10-0, 11-0 by 02.
Yes.
So, Alzarius's coordinates are therefore negative 10-0, 11-0
Yes.
by 02.
Yes.
And it's very weird that you would have two planets with exactly the same coordinates
Very
in a negative
coincidental, yes.
universe.
Yes.
I mean, there is the gag that I think in one of the draft scripts it was called Yerfalag,
All right. Okay.
which is Gallifrey backwards.
Okay.
But the Marshmen are a great design, I think.
They are.
And
They are.
they're also,
Yes.
as you say, they're also an interesting idea
Yes.
as well.
Yes. And they had the same trouble as the Sea Devils in that they would need to duck under the water and
Yeah.
pop up, and they'd keep bobbing up because the sort of things were buoyant, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like a wetsuit.
But fantastic to get a young writer
Yeah.
board like
Yeah.
Andrew Smith.
Yes,
You know,
I mean,
we forget how young he was
he
really
was,
at the
yeah,
time.
he was only about 18, wasn't
Something
he?
like
If
that,
yeah.
And you've got Matthew
Matthew
Waterhouse
Waterhouse.
joining as well. I mean,
Yay.
I never had a problem with Adric.
No, I
watching
don't.
it.
He will become more irritating as he goes along. The further into John Nathan's tenure as producer,
John
Nathan Turner.
Thank you.
Well, it was just John Nathan or
Jonathan,
Turner,
because it was John Turner.
Yeah. But anyway, the further into his tenure you get,
Yeah.
the more irritating Adric becomes.
Yeah.
Um,
I think he works quite well with Tom's Doctor,
he does.
though.
Yeah. He probably works better with Tom's Doctor because Tom's Doctor's got the authority.
I mean, in real life, they probably didn't get on
at
maybe
all.
so well, but in character terms, I think it's an interesting mix of sort of approaches, I guess.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that wish that Adric had died and Varsha joined them instead.
But the spiders are quite fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they're considering what they've got to do, they're quite a nice sort of mechanical sort of. You don't mind spiders, anyway?
I don't mind
do
spiders, no.
Because you free spiders.
I do
don't
try
you?
to free spiders.
If
yes.
we
I
find
try not to
spiders
squash
in the
spiders,
bath,
yeah.
we always.
Well, I normally call you to do it because you're better at catching them.
Yeah,
anyway,
but you're not scared of them.
No, I don't squash them.
No.
That's pointless. Poor little things.
I like that.
So.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's as we said earlier, it's society that's sort of. The word is procrastination, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the deciders,
Yes.
the whole point
They don't
is,
really
that,
decide.
is that they
No.
don't decide.
No. And I love the fact that nobody knows how to
Yeah.
read the manuals
Yeah.
and things like that.
I mean, George Baker.
He's very good, George
Yeah.
Baker. Yeah, and to get somebody of his... I'm not sure where his career was at this point, but
I think he was fairly glad of having a job at that point.
Because he'd not long... Well, a couple of years before, he's in Claudius.
But yeah, it's weird. I think he was in a bit of a sort of, gap between sort of big roles.
things, yeah.
And I don't know how much he
And
enjoyed it.
He's very good.
But
very good,
he's very good. James Bree, of course.
Yeah.
Doing his usual thing.
Yes, being sort of James Bree, really.
And I never noticed that half the set is made out of milk crates, which is great. The fact you've got all these milk crates with little bits of card in them, which are all the sort of systems records. Yes. Yes, it's a silly idea that everything's recorded on little bits of card, but we'll get back to that in State of Decay in a minute as well. So, but yeah, I certainly enjoyed it at the time. I think it got repeated, and I always like Full Circle, and I go back to it. So, a good start to the trilogy, I think.
Yes. Right.
State of Decay. The vampires, the space vampires.
Yes, the long postponed story of vampires that Terrance Dicks that was originally...
due to start season 15, and yes, it took a while.
Bumped back because of the BBC's
Dracula.
version of Dracula, which apparently didn't go down very well anyway.
I've never seen it.
No, I think I've got it somewhere.
Have you got it?
Yeah, it's Lewis Jordan, isn't it?
Okay, I don't know. Never seen it.
Yeah. It's here somewhere. Everything's here somewhere.
But Terrance Dicks, as he said, whenever there was an emergency, they asked for a Terrance Dicks script.
Terrance!
Can we use your script? But nice filming.
Yes.
Bats are pulled off quite well, even though they are nicked from David Attenborough, some of them.
Yes. And I know there was a complaint at the time about the misrepresentation of bats.
Oh, yeah.
Which I would say,
But again, you like bats.
I like bats. I support a bat charity, and there's a bat charity in America that's doing a lot of work with bats.
Because when we used to live at Gillingham, we used to get bats.
We did.
We used to go out and look at them, and they'd fly around.
Because there's this ridiculous notion that they fly down and get tangled in your hair, and they don't. They've got sonar and stuff.
But yeah, I really liked having bats.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know where they lived.
Bats and hedgehogs.
But yeah, they would.
Not at the same time.
No, but they'd come out and we'd go and look at the bats.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, they're like little mice, really, with wings.
Yeah. Oh, good bats. I like the stuff with the what was it? The forbidden technology. And I love the fact the console is clearly based around CFAX.
Yes.
And the fact the Doctor has to thump it to make it
work. Yes. Old Earth tradition.
And that's what the Earth engineers used to do. And yeah, I can't argue with that. There's there's the joke about have you tried turning it off and on again, but also have you just tried thumping it?
Thumping
and
it,
sometimes it works.
Yes.
But what is it they say? The trick is knowing where to thump it.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
But what about the three vampires themselves? They're giving very good performances.
They are giving very good performances. Yes. It's
Because somebody, I think there was a review at the time that said they were a bit like sort of playing cards. Sort of come to life.
Yeah, I can see
the king, the queen, and
well,
not really the knave, but
And I have fond memories of State of Decay for another reason, because I had the audio cassette of the story, which was released in June 1981. So I think I might have got it for Christmas 1981. Because apparently it was also released in 1985, but I don't think it was that late. I think it was definitely 1991. Because I for Christmas I got bought a portable tape with radio. And one of the cassettes I had was State of Decay, which I listened to endlessly.
I can't quite remember when I first got a tape recorder. But no, I never had this tape. Because was it a reading of the novelisation?
It was a reading. Well,
or was it different?
It was apparently it's slightly different to the novelisation.
Right.
And it came out 6 months before the novelisation came out.
All right.
But it's Tom Baker in character almost.
He's doing voices.
Almost, I think he does do a voice for who's the not Hayworth. In one that Arthur Hewlett plays. He does old man voices. He's not always terrible.
Just say Arthur Hewlett.
Yeah. The character that Arthur Hewlett plays.
Yeah.
And he does do some voices, but they're not as extraordinary as his his Solon voice. But the thing that sticks in my mind most about that is the fact that I think because it was 30 minutes aside, because it was 60 minutes long, according to the TARDIS wiki. I've just looked it up. And I think the end of part one, when you turned it over and put it into part two, it started. There was no introduction music or anything like that. There was a little bit of music, and as far as I remember, it started with the next bit of the book, which was the Doctor explaining to Romana about the way names change.
Yeah.
So O'Connor becomes Orcon, and Sharky becomes Zargo, and Camilla, Macmillan becomes Camilla.
Yeah.
See, I can sort of remember it. And that really stuck in my head.
I mean, I certainly like the idea that the sort of scout ship rocket goes up and pierces the heart of the vampire. That's a very nice visual image.
Yes.
It doesn't quite come off with the way the model works done, but yeah, the idea that the TARDIS has got a card sort of reader system. Even in 1981, that was quite old technology, because I remember at school we used to sort of I think I've said on the podcast that we had a sort of link to the computer system at Bournemouth with a big sort of console thing that you type on, and you'd write a little computer program, and you'd get all these little punch cards with all the little holes in. I mean, but that technology goes back to sort of organs, the old steam organs.
Yes. Yeah.
The punch cards would be all the notes, and the sort of the jacquard loom, how to do all the
and census
weaving
as well, isn't it?
That's right, the census. Yeah.
The American census they used
because that's on connections.
Yeah, you put a punch hole in one bit for one thing and miss it out for something else.
Yeah, so that's on James Burke's Connections and the computer program. You can see about this sort of stuff. But so it was very much a sort of an old technology sort of stuff. Even then, it was quite. People knew it was out of date, but there is the argument that it's the sort of technology that survives.
Yes.
So
when all other technology fails.
Well, it's not that so much. It's that electronic technology continually updates.
Yeah.
And as soon as you buy a computer,
it's out of date.
Yeah. So you can't get like Windows 3.1 to run on, and it's not that long ago, Windows 3.1. But a punch card system would last a lot longer. It's the joke about the Doomsday Book and the Doomsday Project that you can still read the Doomsday Book, printed in 1086.
Yes.
But the Doomsday Project from 1986 lasted a few years because that was on Laserdisc, and then there was nothing left around to read it because it was all based around the BBC Micro. That's actually been sort of reverse engineered now, and it has been available online in recent years. I haven't really looked at it recently, but yeah, the idea that within 20 years a technology was out of date. So,
Yes. Yeah. So it's sort of the old ones or the old ones.
But yeah, nicely atmospheric, I think.
Yes, very well directed by Peter Murphy.
I mean, we said about the Doctor and Romana, that scene.
Yes, I think, yes.
Saying, the Doctor says she's wonderful.
Yes.
And it's very helpful that Romana remembers just a little bit of information from her past about the record of Rassilon. You know, that had she not remembered that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether the plot would have turned out differently. Probably not. But
No.
it's nice that it's not just the Doctor remembering stuff.
Yes.
So again, Romana's getting doctory things to do at
She
this
is.
point. So
Yes.
that's
And she's
good.
got a nice costume.
You like that one? Yeah. Even the woolen socks.
Yeah, maybe the socks aren't the best,
Yeah.
but it's practical at least.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, State of Decay. Smiley face. Right. Warriors Gate.
Still do not understand that story.
You don't understand it?
No.
Then it's achieved something, I
Yes.
think.
And it's got great images.
At the time, yeah, I was confused, but now I really do hold it up as an example of what you could do with Doctor Who. And as you say, it's a lot of very interesting imagery.
Yeah.
The whole white void,
yeah.
the gate,
Which is
ruined
actually
gate in the middle of nowhere.
it's quite hard to do the white void because you've got to keep it so clean.
Yeah,
You know,
you don't
can't-
want all dirty
you don't want
footprints
dirty
everywhere.
footprints on it. And it's very 1980. It's very music video.
I was going to say, it does look like a sort of pop video,
Yes,
doesn't it?
it's very new romantics,
Yeah.
isn't it? Sort of,
I mean, stuff with the Tharrell coming into the TARDIS and all the step
yeah,
motion of the trailing
yeah,
sort of part images of him. The Doctor going through the black and white photographs and all of that really sticks in. That's the thing. It's one of those stories that, as a kid, if you'd asked me a few years later what the story was, I couldn't tell you, but I could tell you all the images in it.
yes, yeah,
And yeah, that's great. You know, it's like not so much it's the one with the creatures come out of the sea, but it's the one with the black and white photographs and stuff like that. And we're almost straying into Sapphire and Steel here, aren't we?
almost,
A bit,
with the time
which
sort
is
of
never a bad
things.
thing in my
No.
thing.
No.
I love the sort of crew of the crew being all a bit rubbish as
yes,
well.
because that's very true to life.
Yeah,
Nobody's really as good as.
yeah. 'Cause
as
I can
they seem
never
to
get
be.
on with Star Trek
No.
crews
No.
in that everybody's top of their class and they're always brilliant and no. If I was to write something on a spaceship, it wouldn't be Star Trek. It would be far more like Warriors Gate.
They did do an episode that featured more junior members of the
Yeah.
crew who weren't actually.
Well, it's
Quite
that
so
thing,
good.
isn't it? You've got Reg Barclay.
Yeah.
He's the odd one out because he's a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
And I don't like that
No.
impression. That
No.
he's the weird one, But the whole isn't that line that who's in charge of whatever it is? I think it's me.
Yeah.
Is great.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Cope.
Yeah.
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 Not with a wig.
No.
Is it? No.
Sounds weird. Yes. Yes. And Clifford Rose.
Yeah.
Clifford Rose just being supremely nasty.
Yeah.
Which is what he did, really. That was the parts he got, usually as a German. But
Yeah. But I'd say it's a very ambitious story. And mostly it comes off. I mean, I know there are production problems in terms of actually just finishing it in studio for one reason or another, because Graham Harper sort of is quite important in getting this
Yes.
one finished.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I
'cause,
think that's fair to say.
the director whose name's escaped me for the moment,
Paul Joyce.
he took
Yeah.
a little bit of a.
Well,
he wanted to be making a film, but on a
again, it's the
television
problem
budget.
of if you're too ambitious, you run the risk of not finishing on time, and that did happen in the Leisure Hive. The Leisure Hive, it was a problem to get it finished, and I think something similar happens with Warriors Gate. But
Yeah.
I think both of those stories are visually the most ambitious
Yeah,
of the whole
they
season.
definitely are.
So,
yes.
I will never knock anyone for trying.
No.
You know, good on you for pushing it. But unfortunately, people higher up think you should. I think
get on with it.
sometimes people higher up don't have the ambition for Doctor Who that people are. You know, that writers and directors, especially new writers and directors,
Yes.
want to make this like nothing before, and you know there should always be room for making,
it,
original, clever stuff, and that's
Yes.
what this is.
Yes.
This is clever stuff. And then Romana and K9 leave.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think of their leaving? Is it a bit sudden? Or
It's a
not?
little bit sudden, but it's none the worse for that, I don't think.
I think you've been subtly building up to this,
yes.
though.
Yeah,
that-
because K9 just... I mean, I know they wanted to not use him so much, not rely on him, so in various ways in most episodes, something happens to him and he gets pushed out of the picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I do like the idea that Romana goes off, and it's almost like she's going to have her own spin-off series that we just never get to see.
Yeah.
It's that thing that if you trace Romana's sort of, you know, from Reboss Operation Part 1, she thought she knew a lot, but in practical terms she didn't really know very much. By this point
She does.
she's perfectly capable of going off and having her own series. And that's, in some ways, that's what happens to Jo, isn't it?
Yes.
That Jo joins and doesn't know a lot, but by the end, Jo is able to stand up to the master and the hypnotism and all that. And Jo's become independent, but so's Romana.
Yes.
And that's great. You know, that's.
I mean, obviously, in the television world, in the television, when I said television, in the television version of Doctor Who, she's still in E-Space.
Yeah.
But in Big Finish of got her firmly back on Gallifrey.
I mean, I've never heard any of the Big Finish stuff.
I believe she's the president, and then she regenerates, and you get another Romana.
I don't know.
So yes, but I don't know enough about it. But yeah.
But certainly, I think these are three very strong stories in their own way. They're all trying for different things, and I think they're all achieving what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So, a very good trilogy and a very good farewell to Romana. I think.
And K9.
So thank you for everyone that did these things. Because as I said, it's these have stuck with me. I think these stories especially. So there we go.
Yes, and now we're heading to
the end.
The end of Tom.
Yes,
After
and we'll come back and talk about those tomorrow, I expect. Bye-bye.
Bye.